Aloha, this is your Uncle Martin, July 22nd. It is 105 degrees in Arizona, and we're talking a couple slobbering dogs. I'm just trying to... Dirty Nose, you better not bury this. Yeah. Alright, and there's Lumina. My good girl Lumina, she's another rescue I have. Okay, this is going to be as quick as I can. It might go over 3 minutes, so bear with me. It's about healing. Healing, the body. We have to actually heal the physical, mental, and spiritual, but we're talking about the physical healings of things. And that one thing that we've used since the late 60s is cold-pressed castor oil. Now, I'm not promoting this particular brand, but it is organic. We usually do use Palm Christi. And what this is saying on this label is that it's going to help your hair, your eyelashes, and brown spots, which it does. But what Edgar Casey said was this castor oil was not necessarily to be drank. It's an application, poultice you make. And what he said was it is so high a vibration. It is the highest oil known to mankind that will heal any ulcerated sore known to mankind. Now, I am not a doctor. This is what Edgar Casey said. But growing up, Mother did say, "Physician, heal thyself." And I said, "Mom?" She says, "Yeah, you can heal yourself." All right. And even biblically, we know that and there's verses in the Bible that says fasting and prayer can heal any ailment. Hey. So from there, let's work on what this has done for me and my family. I got so many stories that I just want to get a couple out of the way. I'm trying to keep this 3 minutes. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I've ripped and torn my shoulder. And I've blown out my knees, my ankles, my back, a lot of my muscles and tendons. And that's what I'm talking about. This stuff, how it works is it's basically goes through the 7 layers of your skin, 7 layers. And then it also goes down through the muscles, the tendons, rejuvenates, goes down to the bone marrow, and then comes back and rejuvenates everything again. So it goes down and it comes back up to the surface. Now, you use it approximately 3 days, 3 days only, but I've used it more. But pretty much after 3 days, I'm pretty good. Although when I broke my arm, I didn't go to the doctor. I had some comfrey leaf growing in my garden, which is a bone knitter. Look up comfrey, C-O-M-F-R-E-Y. It's a bone knitter. So I took that, I scrunched it all up in a pedestal, and I put castor oil with it, and then I applied it to my arm and prior to doing this, what happened was I was losing my REM sleep. I was waking up every hour. So I got to the point that throbbing, anybody had a broken anything in a bone, how throbbing that is. It's a dull throbbing, constant, doesn't stop. That's pretty much how it was. So I believe after 2 weeks, I used it for 2 weeks, and I could climb the rope again. I wasn't climbing my rope. That'll be another story. So it's the highest vibration of oil known to mankind that Edgar Casey says will cure any ulcerated sore. So I've had different sores, and it's taken care of that. I'm not going to go into that part. What it does, though, another little story was a lady, I'd say about 83. She was a grandmother to a friend of mine. She was walking around in a cane. They were, in 2 weeks, they were going to go get an operation on her ankles, on her one ankle. And so I told them about the castor oil. I told them to do it for 3 days. She must have not have heard what I said. So what she did, she used it for 30 days, every day. So I saw them about a couple weeks later, dyslexia kicking in, at least a couple months later, and here she is walking. She doesn't have a cane, and I said, "Where's your cane? How'd the operation go?" What? She says, "I didn't go for the operation." I said, "Oh, really? Where's your cane?" "I don't need my cane." She says, "It was so subtle that I didn't even realize that I was being healed by this castor oil." Now, I never went into what her ankle was, what kind of surgery or any of that. I'm just saying, it works very subtly as far as pain goes, sensation goes. You didn't even realize that you were hurt, actually. How a great new example, my Uncle Lou. My Uncle Lou calls me a couple days ago, says he had a sty in his eye. What do I think about that? I said, well, the styes, they can be a little sensitive. And he says, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. And I said, well, you know, you could do the tea bag, black tea or green tea, and after it's nice and make a tea, take the tea bag, put it on your eye. It draws out a lot of the poisons. And I said, by the way, why don't you try some castor oil? I went into it, and anyway, I just called him today. And he's been using it for 3 or 4 days, and he says the pain is just about gone. That's what he said. I said, hey, this is fantastic, Uncle Lou. So again, this is like serendipitous. I keep seeing or hearing people, like there's this guy, all right, Dirty Nose. He's a dirty nosed dog. Here you go. And this guy, Lumina, you can't be left out. Yeah. I love these rescues. So he has he has actually no more pain. Now this Russian guy, Alexander, who we've been corresponding back and forth on our videos, I saw today that his cat was licking his knee, and he has his whole knee, his leg bandaged. And the comments are, hope your leg gets better. So this is another person I'm trying to get a cold to, Alexander from Russia, the one that has a cat named Casey and Maya. You're the guy I'm talking to. I see your leg. It's maybe a situation, pulled ligaments. That's what I think the comments were. Get a hold of some cold pressed castor oil, Alexander, and anybody else in the same situation. Do it as an alchemist would. You do a test. Just simply, it's an experiment. What do you have to lose? And get back to me when you do this and let me know how it works out. I'd love to hear your comments. And by the way, anybody watching Uncle Martin right now, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. A comment would be great. Excuse me. And if you subscribe to me and you have something to subscribe to, I'll subscribe to you. That's the law of the West out in Arizona. So until then, I'll have more on this on a live. I'll do a live on more on castor oil, something like that. And I'll have more information and more stories that are true stories on how people, I got a bunch of them, how people were very grateful that I told them about castor oil. Until then, be well. God victory.